Welcome to our college briefing show. Today, we dive into some intriguing stories making headlines. First up, we'll explore how the Wildwood-The Villages metro area in Central Florida, known for its large retirement community, is surprisingly the fastest growing place for children aged 14 and under in the U.S. Next, we'll examine the financial pressures forcing U.S. colleges to cut majors and programs, leaving students scrambling and anxious about their educational futures. Finally, we'll take a look at Brigham Young University's ambitious plans to establish a medical school with a unique focus on international health issues and humanitarian efforts. Please stay tuned for the detailed coverage of these stories. The Toronto Star, the Villages in Central Florida, known as one of the largest retirement communities in the world, is experiencing a surprising demographic shift. While the area is famous for its elderly population and golf cart parades, it has become the fastest growing metro for young children in the U.S. this decade. The influx of young families is largely due to the increasing number of working-age adults moving to the area to provide services for retirees. Despite the challenges of raising children in a region with limited family-friendly facilities, young parents like Morgan Filion and Sarah Feeney are finding ways to adapt, such as driving long distances for medical appointments and participating in local library programs. The community is also responding to this demographic change by developing new residential areas like Middleton, aimed at employees and their families. However, concerns about affordable housing and overcrowded schools persist among both new and long-time residents. The Toronto Star, U.S. colleges are facing a wave of program cuts as they struggle with budget challenges exacerbated by the end of federal COVID relief funds, rising operational costs, and declining enrollment. St. Cloud State University in Minnesota, for example, is eliminating its music department along with 42 degree programs and 50 minors, causing significant disruption for students like Christina Westman, who had to transfer schools to continue her studies in music therapy. The trend of cutting programs is widespread, affecting institutions of various sizes across the country. Colleges like St. Cloud State, which saw its enrollment drop from 18,300 in 2020 to about 10,000 in 2023, are making these difficult decisions to address budget shortfalls. Experts predict that more colleges will follow suit, particularly those with smaller programs and humanities departments, as they face the harsh realities of a shrinking pool of young adults and increasing financial pressures. Yahoo US, Brigham Young University, BYU, is embarking on the ambitious project of establishing a medical school, a process that will involve meticulous planning and a multi-step accreditation journey. Dr. Stuart Flynn, who has experience founding medical schools at the University of Arizona Phoenix and Texas Christian University, TCU, highlights the complexity and detail required in this endeavor. The new medical school at BYU will focus on international health issues and humanitarian efforts, reflecting the university's strategic priorities. Achieving full accreditation from the Liaison Committee on Medical Education, LCME, will take several years, involving rigorous assessments of curriculum, faculty, and facilities. Despite these challenges, experts like Dr. Mark Kahn from UNLV and Flynn believe that BYU's strong reputation and resources will attract faculty and students, ensuring the school's success. The new medical school will join the existing medical education landscape in Utah, which includes the University of Utah Spencer Fox Eccles School of Medicine and 2 osteopathic colleges. The Sydney Morning Herald. Susan Wojcicki, a pivotal figure in Google's rise from a garage startup to an internet behemoth and a trailblazing female executive in Silicon Valley, passed away at 56 after a 2-year battle with lung cancer. Her journey with Google began in 1998 when she rented her garage to Google's founders, Larry Page and Sergey Brin. Wojcicki, who transitioned from Intel to become Google's first marketing manager, played a crucial role in the company's advertising success and the acquisition of DoubleClick. As YouTube's CEO from 2014, she introduced various monetization strategies and tackled content moderation challenges. Her legacy includes her advocacy for paid parental leave and her philanthropic efforts, especially in cancer research. Wojcicki's personal life was marked by her marriage to Dennis Troper and their 5 children, one of whom tragically died earlier this year. Her impact on Google and YouTube remains profound, with former colleagues lauding her as a key translator within the tech giant's complex ecosystem. South China Morning Post. Starbucks is grappling with significant challenges in China, where its revenue from 7,306 stores fell by 11% year-on-year. Once a status symbol for the Chinese middle class, Starbucks is losing ground to cheaper competitors like Luckin Coffee and Coty Coffee. These rivals offer budget-friendly options, appealing to cost-conscious consumers amid a national spending decline. Coty, in particular, has rapidly expanded with its low-cost model, opening 7,500 stores in under 2 years. Starbucks' slower expansion and higher prices have not kept pace with the aggressive strategies of its domestic competitors. Analysts predict further market share losses for Starbucks as it struggles to adapt to the evolving consumer landscape in China, where coffee is now seen more as a necessity than a luxury. The company's efforts to cut costs and expand into lower-tier cities may not be sufficient to regain its former dominance, with consumer preferences shifting towards more affordable options. Yahoo US. In Pittsburgh, local community groups organized an anti-violence event at Lower McKinley Park, aiming to foster safety and unity within the city. Sponsored by the Black Political Empowerment Project, Greater Pittsburgh Coalition Against Violence, and South Pittsburgh Coalition for Peace, the event focused on engaging youth through various activities. Rakeem Collins of the Pittsburgh Coalition for Peace emphasized the importance of involving young people to shape a safer future. The event also addressed recent violent incidents in the Knoxville neighborhood. Attendees received 200 book bags with school supplies, donated by the University of Pittsburgh and Children's Hospital. Children participated in a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, dance contests, and enjoyed a bounce castle. Organizers hope such events will promote a message of safety and community cohesion across Pittsburgh. Telegraph, the recent anti-racist demonstration in Finchley, North London, saw around 1,000 people gather to oppose the far-right's alleged plans to target an immigration office. However, the event took a controversial turn when a poster equated Zionists with fascists and racists, causing distress among the Jewish community. With 80% of British Jews identifying as Zionists, using the term in the same breath as Nazis is seen as deeply anti-Semitic. This sentiment has left many Jews, who are often refugees themselves, feeling unwelcome in the UK. The irony is that Zionism supports the establishment of a Jewish state, which does not negate the possibility of a Palestinian state. The question remains, where should Jews go if they are driven out of Finchley, and how can they balance their anti-racist beliefs with their support for Israel? Yahoo US, the University of Cincinnati Bearcats football team returned to Nippert Stadium for a scrimmage after a week at the higher ground retreat. The 3-hour session saw over 100 plays, with coach Scott Satterfield holding back only Corey Kiner to evaluate the other running backs. Tight end Joe Royer shone, catching 4 touchdown passes, reminiscent of his high school days. The quarterback competition saw both Brendan Sorsby and Brady Lichtenberg finding their targets effectively. The offensive line appeared strong, while the linebackers, led by Jonathan Thompson and Jared Bartlett, showed promise. However, the defensive line remains a concern, with key players like Dante Corleone and Jalen Hunt sidelined due to health issues. The team is preparing for their season opener against Towson on August 31st. New York Times, Brazilian investigators began examining the black boxes from Vopass Flight 2283, which crashed from 17,000 feet, killing all 62 on board. Aviation experts quickly identified that the plane had stalled, losing the lift needed to stay aloft. However, the reasons behind the stall remain unclear. Possible factors include loss of speed, incorrect nose pitch, ice accumulation, engine failure, or malfunctioning stall warning systems. The pilot's condition, whether tired or distracted, is also under scrutiny. The complexity of aviation accidents means that a combination of factors likely contributed to the tragic event, underscoring the multifaceted nature of such investigations. Yahoo US. Jets quarterback Adrian Martinez seized his moment during a thrilling preseason game against the Washington Commanders, leading the team to a 20-17 victory. The 24-year-old Martinez, who recently joined the Jets, showcased his dual-threat capabilities by making critical plays in the final drive, including a 33-yard pass and a 13-yard scramble, setting up the game-winning field goal. Head coach Robert Saleh praised Martinez's performance, highlighting his ability to extend plays and keep his eyes downfield, a skill emphasized by veteran quarterback Aaron Rodgers. Martinez, who previously excelled in the United Football League, expressed his gratitude for the opportunity to learn from Rodgers and make the most of his time with the Jets. Australian Broadcasting Corporation. Swearing has evolved significantly over the centuries, reflecting societal changes and cultural norms. Once taboo words like gadzooks and damn have lost their shock value, while terms related to bodily functions remain potent. Linguist Howard Manns explains that swearing serves various functions, from expressing emotion to fostering camaraderie. Historically, religious taboos were the harshest, but the Victorian era introduced prudishness around words like breast and leg. The feminist movement of the 1960s to 1980s saw women like Germaine Greer challenging these norms, often facing backlash. Despite changes, body-related swear words persist, though their usage and connotations continue to evolve, reflecting ongoing societal shifts. Australian Broadcasting Corporation. Heather Allen's daughter found solace under the aurora borealis in Iceland, a moment that eased her anxiety after a tumultuous decade. Her experience isn't unique, many find mental health benefits in stargazing. Chris Barnes, a psychologist at the University of Derby, developed the Night Sky Connectedness Index to measure how connected people feel to the night sky. His research found that those with a strong connection to the night sky report better mental health and happiness. The sense of awe and mindfulness experienced while stargazing may explain these benefits. However, light pollution diminishes this connection, with studies showing that people in areas with high light pollution feel less connected to the night sky. This underscores the importance of addressing light pollution to preserve the mental health benefits of stargazing. Yahoo US reported that multiple Pittsburgh police departments are investigating an attempted burglary in South Oakland. The University of Pittsburgh issued an off-campus crime alert after a person pushed in a window at a house on Dawson Street, triggering an alarm just before midnight. The victim was notified via email, but no description of the suspect is available. The suspect fled the area, and anyone with information is urged to contact the University of Pittsburgh Police Department or Pittsburgh Police. The incident highlights ongoing safety concerns in the area and the collaborative efforts of local law enforcement agencies. In a separate report by Yahoo US, Auburn remains in contention to land five-star offensive tackle Andrew Babalola, a top recruit for the 2025 class. Babalola, from Overland Park, Kansas, is scheduled to announce his commitment soon, with Stanford currently the favorite. However, Auburn is considered a sleeper pick, with On3's Steve Wiltfong suggesting that the Tigers have never been out of the race. Auburn's recruitment efforts, led by Hugh Freeze, have kept them in the conversation despite strong competition from Michigan, Missouri, and Oklahoma. Babalola is highly ranked and his decision will be closely watched by multiple top-tier programs. The Independent detailed the massive turnout at anti-racist, Stop Far Right rallies across the UK, organized by Stand Up to Racism. Thousands gathered in cities like London, Edinburgh, and Cardiff, outnumbering far-right protesters. The rallies were a response to a week of nationwide far-right riots, with significant gatherings in Belfast and Whitehall, where protesters chanted pro-refugee slogans. The demonstrations aimed to counteract recent violence and spread of disinformation, with speakers condemning figures like Nigel Farage and Elon Musk. The protests, which saw participation from tens of thousands, sent a strong message of unity and resistance against racism and far-right ideologies. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Turn on the screen, monsters screaming. Empty smiles, their words misleading. Power games in darkened rooms. Spin their lies to seal our doom. Oh, oh, oh. Turn on the screen, monsters screaming. Empty smiles, their words misleading. Our streets.